Hey, awesome people. Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, or today, it is all about The Last of Us. The Last of Us Episode 8 dropped last night. HBO Max. If you haven't been watching, what have you been doing? Continues to be, again, chef's kiss, amazing type of television. And yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Bella Ramsey, Pedro Pascal of The Mandalorian. Bella, I believe, was in Game of Thrones. Um, Written by Craig Mazin. I believe he's the actual show's main creative force outside of Neil Druckmann, who was the creator and director of the two Last of Us games, who is one of my favorites from Naughty Dog. Craig Mazin did the amazing Chernobyl. I don't know if you've had a chance to see that. If not, I highly recommend it. One of the best miniseries or series that I've ever seen. I think it was like 7 or 8 episodes that goes through the whole Chernobyl accident in Ukraine and was brilliantly done. It was fascinating. There were things that I had no idea about, and he told it in such a captivating, emotionally gripping way. So strongly, Craig Mazin, it's an amazing storyteller. So again, The Last of Us, episode 8. We are back with Joel and Ellie. Joel again got shanked in the stomach. Ellie is doing all that she can to help him survive. She is trying to feed herself as well as force Joel to eat. He's basically in a coma or feverish days, illness, not doing well. And so she goes out hunting and ends up killing a deer. And two men from a local group in a small resort town in Colorado basically find her deer before she does. And they try to steal it, and she basically holds them at gunpoint and tells them to back the fuck away. And basically, it kind of goes from there. Turns out, I don't know if you've been following along, then you know that Joel ended up shooting or killing, breaking his neck, this guy that was basically trying to attack them while they were trying to look for the fireflies at the Colorado college campus. And this family or this group of people in the resort town are actually connected to. Sorry about my phone. Let me turn that off. Are connected, and the grieving daughter of the man that was killed by Joel basically in this town, and it's run by this man named David. He's this preacher that basically is using scripture and the Bible to try to corral and control this flock of humans that are basically just trying to survive. And any hope in any faith basically kind of gets you through, right? And he uses that, and he's using people's hope and desire for connection and having a purpose and believing that the bad can finally be over, and he's kind of using this, to try to control this flock of humans. I keep using the word flock because it's kind of like a church. And basically, and so he wants, he sees Ellie, wants Ellie, and, it's not obvious at first that it's a creepy kind of want, but it is. And basically, they also want revenge against Joel for, killing one of their own. And, and so to make a long story short, Ellie ends up being captured by David. David basically wants to kind of make her his wife, and it's really fucking creepy. Oh, by the way, the resort is also eating humans as a way to survive. And yeah, so they've kind of lost their way, and David really enjoys, in a very cool. That's what's great about Craig Mazin's writing. It's not like he's just some slobbering sociopath. He is a very complex human like the rest of us, and you can tell, wants to do well by the people that he is in control of, but he also enjoys that control way too much. He's a manipulative abuser and knows how to do that, and knows how to gaslight and to trick and manipulate, people's needs and, to abuse them for it, and to enjoy that. He calls it like a violent heart. Ellie, you have a violent heart like I do. There's some incredible scenes in this. Again, the cinematography of this show has been top notch. I'm constantly impressed by their use of light and the sun, in between trees, and their framing of the scenes. Like, each director has been and brought something so unique and special to each episode. And this is definitely one of them, Again, this goes to Bella Ramsey, her performance in this, going from desperation to try to help Joel. She's able to get penicillin from David momentarily before they try to come and find her. And, and then being captured, and her refusal to give David her name. Like, this is the last piece of power that I have against you, and I'm not going to give you my fucking name. And David's like creepy manipulation, taking this child that he's basically helpless, or not helpless, really. He likes the power that Ellie refuses to give up, and he wants to take that, and he wants to break her. And, and she refuses to be broken and refuses to be controlled. And, this drives him into a rage, and, the fight that they have at the end, and the way that she chops him into bits with the blood spraying against the screen lens of the camera. Oh my God. And the emotions in her face, and then Joel finding her right at the end and calling her, I've got you, baby girl. And she's like crying in his chest. And by the end of that episode, I was crying as well. The power of that, and Joel's, embrace of this little girl, and trying to help her restore and keep her sanity after such a traumatic event. And Bella's, performance as Ellie, and her rage and her fear, and, what had just nearly been done to her. It was really powerful. And you can see in this, just if you have ever seen part 2 or played part 2, you understand the character of Ellie so well, and the choices that she makes, while they can be infuriating, are so understandable based off of her journey. And I think that's one of the beauties of The Last of Us so far. We only have one episode to go before the end of this season, and the power of their storytelling has been, because they refuse to just paint people by numbers. Like, it's not just, I am a villain and I am the good guy and I'm saintly, or, it's the complexity of it. Like the complexity of religion, organized religion, the complexity of, people turning to faith in moments of confusion and fear. And then when they do so, they become demagogues. I see it in so much of our own modern day politics, about how people are uncertain about things, and they turn to those that seem certain, and they just give over all of their free thinking and their choices and stop using their own reason, and horrible things happen because of it. I want certainty. I'm going to go ahead and side with this horrible person because they offer me certainty, and they'll make the scary unknown go away. And, it's so human, and it's so tragic so often. All you need to do is turn on your own fucking television show or local news app, and you'll see all of it all the time, everywhere. So with that said, again, amazing show. I am so excited for episode 9 next Sunday, and I hope you are doing well, dear viewer, and hope you're staying awesome. Remember to treat yourself with love, and to do so for your neighbor, and have a wonderful day.